guys, this is Via from Via Creates, and in this video I'm going to show you the process of how I completed my October monthly spread for this year. This is the second video in the series, which are all deer themed. Since Halloween is this month, I of course had to start with a pumpkin orange piece of construction paper, which I just cut out in the same width as my bullet journal and tore off the edges to give a nice rough look around the border and glued it into my book. I drew on the grid pattern myself since I don't feel like buying different pattern paper for every single spread that I do, and I used just a simple black gel pen for this. If you do this, you do have to be careful that you let it dry after doing the vertical lines before you do the horizontal lines, just so that the pen doesn't smudge. I found a piece of this beautiful plum paper in my collection, and so I decided to use that as my background for the letters in this spread. I kind of just did a faux calligraphy font with my white gel pen on this paper, and I did kind of more of a cursive-y look, and then I cut around each letter and number and glued them into the book, where I put October at the top on the orange paper, and I decided to put 2021 on the bottom on the left-hand corner. A major part of this spread is having a bunch of these flowers and leaves kind of filling up the negative space. And so the first flower that I'm drawing is a lily, and I'm using a purple felt-tipped pen that's the same shade as the plum paper that I used for the background of the letters, and that is going to be used on the orange portion of the paper. Later I'm going to paint the white part of my notebook black, and then I'm going to use a white gel pen to finish out the drawing of the lily. Using my watercolor set, I mixed the same purple plum color that I used to create a design or a border around the top of the orange paper. I decided to do watercolor instead of pen for this because I wanted it to be a little bit more translucent to mimic the ghost deer that I draw later on, as well as to continue to see the grid pattern that I drew on the orange paper through the paint. So like I said before, I painted the bottom part black. I ended up not liking what I had drawn before, and I thought that the black would just go well more with the vision that I had for this spread. In order to draw the ghost deer, I am doing more of kind of a gesture type drawing, so not all the features are really defined, particularly the end of the legs I tapered off instead of drawing full detailed legs to kind of mimic that they are more ephemeral beings. I probably should have not drawn the deer freehand. I had drawn them before, so I felt a bit confident, but I'm not gonna lie, the first deer kind of looks more like a dog. So maybe the spread is about a dog and a deer. They're best friends. It's really cute, you know. I guess we're just gonna have to go with that. As with all of my bullet journal spreads, my goal is to fill up the entire page because I love maximalist art. So I'm continuing to draw even more florals and botanical illustrations. So right here I'm doing a little vine design, and I just kind of let my creativity run loose in this part and drew whatever flowers that just came to my mind. After I'd drawn a couple of flowers, I quickly realized that the deer were definitely going to fade into the background if I didn't do something else to emphasize their presence. So I used just a regular old Crayola white colored pencil and softly shaded in the bodies of the deer so that they were still kind of like this translucent white ghost-like looking things, but they stood out a little bit more among the flowers surrounding them. I'm not sure what you would call this style of drawing. I guess it looks a little bit vintagey, kind of like those old scientific illustrations maybe. Who knows? Did I think this was enough? No. So even in the space that was still blank, I drew little mini flowers inside because, like I said before, every inch of the page needs to be covered in my spreads. For the final details, I just added little dots along the entirety of the page, and I also drew in some new leaves coming from the top design to balance it out a little bit more since the top was looking a little bit light compared to the bottom. And there she is! I think that this definitely looks like a happy little scene of two ghost friends just frolicking in nature, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day!